Every year, gardeners around the world throw this black gold straight in the trash. But if you use too much of this around your prize-winning tomatoes, you might be doing more harm than good. So you may have heard that coffee is acidic. Don't put it on your garden. Well, I'll tell you what, that is a myth. When you dump the hot water through your coffee, yes, the coffee grounds are acidic, but when you dump the hot water, most of that acidity ends up in your cup. All that water just washes right through. It's water soluble. So I would say to you, it's a neutral additive. It's about 6.8, around there for acidity. So you're not going to be making your soil more acidic by putting down coffee grounds in your soil. So why are coffee grounds beneficial to your soil? Why would I want to put them in my soil, in my garden? Why would I want to use them? One, you're recycling something. Two, they are a good source of nitrogen. Now, nitrogen is typically, when you think about composting, you got your browns and your greens. Nitrogen's on the green side. Yes, these coffee grounds are brown, but they are not considered a brown when it comes down to composting. These guys are considered a green. So you want to be able to think about them as an added nutrient to your soil. They provide a little bit of nitrogen into your soil. They will be a slow release nitrogen. You're not going to get anything real quick release with these guys if you just sprinkle it out in your soil. The next thing how they're beneficial is that they invite a party into your soil. A party for the fungi, the microbes, the bacteria, and all that stuff. They love feeding off of the coffee grounds when you put them into your soil. It really awakens your soil in terms of the microbacteria. And they are truly, I don't know if it's the caffeine, but they are truly having a party with it. They love to break this stuff down. The other thing it invites into the party is worms. Worms I think they love the grit of the coffee grounds. They love using those coffee grounds and they love breaking them down. The more that they break down, the more they poo. The more they poo, the richer your soil is going to be. They also, while they're moving through the soil, they will aerate your soil. So worms are very, very beneficial. That's why when people say you want worms in your garden, you've got healthy soil if you have worms in your garden. That's why you want worms in your garden, because they add two things. They add nutrients to your soil and they aerate your garden for you. A couple things not to do with coffee grounds in your garden. Number one, just don't go out there and just dump your coffee grounds everywhere. You just want to be able to take those coffee grounds and lightly sprinkle them over the soil. You just dump them out there. Have you ever seen what dried coffee grounds looks like? It just like forms a hard crust over the soil. And that's going to have problems getting water down into your soil. And you're going to have all kinds of dried out soil. That water is just going to kind of run off to the side and it's not going to get down to the roots where you want them to be. You should never layer them in more than a 1/2 inch thick. You want them really thin layer. Think of them as a spice for your garden. You want to kind of sprinkle it here and there and allow the worms to go out and find them, allow the microbes to go out and find them. Now, coffee also contains the most value ingredient, caffeine. You got to have some caffeine. Caffeine can be a growth inhibitor. It's allelopathic, meaning that it will prevent growth. So if you're going to be putting down a lot of coffee grounds in a bed that you plan on planting seeds in, you might have some problems with those seeds trying to get through the soil and trying to grow up. Also, if you put coffee grounds inside, it can kind of cause you some problems. I think this tends to be where some fungus gnats and different things like that may arise. I just simply try to avoid using coffee on my plants inside. If I need to do something inside with them, I typically go use other methods. So I have all these coffee grounds saved up. Now what do I do with them? Well, there are several things that you can do with them. One, you can take them and simply throw them into your compost pile. Mix them into your compost pile. That is probably the easiest way to deal with it, is just adding them to your compost. Now remember, they are a green, not a brown. So if you're kind of doing calculations on your greens to browns, think of them as a green. Even though they are brown or black, think of them as a green. Two, you can just simply go out and sprinkle them across your soil. That's typically what I do, is usually before I put any type of mulch down, like my comfrey mulch or something along the lines of that, I'll take those and I'll just sprinkle them out and then put the mulch on top of it. The worms usually find them. The bacteria usually finds them. It does great in the soil. Three, you can kind of lightly scratch them into the surface of the soil. A lot of gardeners do this as well. They take them and kind of intermix them with the soil. Again, it helps with the microbes and with the worms to be able to have them find them. Another way you can do this as well, what I tend to do, is I use my little worm basins and I'll throw the green, which is the coffee grounds, in there, and the brown, the filter in those little worm bins that I have in my garden, the embed worm bins. You can do this with your compost pile as well. Don't throw away that filter. That filter will biodegrade, and it's an excellent brown source. So take those and just throw them in the worm bins, and once the worms take care of that, you can take out all that lovely compost that they produce and sprinkle it across your garden. It's pretty simple with coffee grounds. Don't overcomplicate things. Sit back, think about how you're going to do it, have a sip of Joe. So all in all, coffee grounds are more or less a supplement. They're not a true fertilizer. They're not a true substitute for a soil amendment. They're a supplement. Think of them as the salt or the pepper that you're going to put on your ingredients into your garden. Sprinkle them out. Use them. They're free. You got them from your coffee that you use. If you can outsource a bunch of coffee grounds from elsewhere, by all means, go ahead and do so. Your garden and your soil are living systems. Treat the coffee ground like a little bit of spice to put on those little systems just to feed it. So tell me, have you used coffee grounds before in your garden? Have you used them in a different way than I've described here? I'm sure there are other alternatives to using them that way. Let me know down in the comments down below. Have you ever burnt a plant with coffee grounds? I'm sure that you can do that as well if you put too much of them around a tomato or something along the lines of that. As always, with this video series, stay tuned. We're going to go through many other supplements that you can use from your inside, free supplements that you can use in your house and bring it out to your garden and make that the healthiest soil that you can possibly do. Free is great as a gardener, so you might as well stick around, click that subscribe button, and watch future videos. Cheers, everybody, and God bless.